Ever wondered how to stock up and prep in a small city apartment? Well, it's not as daunting as it might seem. Today, we're going to explore the clever strategies and creative hacks that can help you build a prepper pantry, even in the smallest of spaces. We'll underline the importance of being prepared and how a well-stocked pantry can be a lifeline in times of unexpected disruptions. So, buckle up and stay tuned as we dive into creating a prepper pantry in a small space. You might be wondering, why a prepper pantry? Well, let's dive into that. A prepper pantry is all about being ready. Ready for a sudden storm that can leave you stuck at home, ready for unexpected guests, ready for those days when you just don't want to go grocery shopping. It's about having the peace of mind that comes with knowing you have what you need, when you need it. But the benefits extend beyond just being prepared for emergencies. A well-stocked pantry can also help you save money. How? By buying in bulk, taking advantage of sales, and reducing the need for last-minute, expensive convenience store runs. Plus, having a variety of ingredients on hand can help reduce food waste, as you're more likely to use what you have before it expires. So, having a well-stocked pantry is not just for survivalists, but for anyone who wants to be prepared. So, what should you stock in your prepper pantry? Now that's a question that's been boggling minds since the dawn of prepping. Well, fear not, because we're about to break it down for you. First things first, you're going to want to stock up on canned goods. These are your go-to items for long-term storage. We're talking about canned fruits, vegetables, beans, and meats. They have a long shelf life and can be a lifesaver in situations where cooking might not be an option. Next on the list are dry foods. These include grains like rice and pasta, lentils, oats, and powdered milk. They're lightweight, compact, and easy to store. Plus, they provide a good source of energy and can be combined in many ways to create an array of dishes. Now, let's not forget about water. It's the essence of life, after all. A general rule of thumb is to have a 2-week supply stored for each person in your household. This means about 1 gallon per person per day for drinking and sanitation. And then we have emergency supplies. These are things like first aid kits, flashlights, batteries, and even a hand crank radio. It's also wise to include personal hygiene items such as toilet paper, soap, and toothpaste. But wait, there's more. Don't overlook the importance of comfort foods. They might not be essential for survival, but they can certainly lift your spirits in stressful situations. Think along the lines of chocolate, coffee, or your favorite snack. Lastly, consider stocking up on some basic cooking supplies. These would include things like salt, pepper, and cooking oil. You'd be surprised how far a little seasoning can go in making your meals more palatable. And there you have it, a comprehensive list of what to stock in your prepper pantry. But remember, it's not about having a lot of one thing, but having a variety of items to meet your needs. After all, variety is the spice of life, and it just might be the key to survival too. But where to store all these items in a small city apartment, you may wonder? Well, the answer lies in optimizing every nook and cranny of your living space. Let's start by looking upwards. Yes, you heard that right. Oftentimes, the vertical space in our homes remains unutilized. By installing shelves or stacking boxes, you can transform your walls into a storage haven. You can also consider hanging items such as pots, pans, or even bags of dried goods. This not only frees up cabinet space, but also keeps items easily accessible. Next, let's consider the space beneath your furniture. Underbed storage is a goldmine for those living in smaller spaces. Underbed boxes or roll-out drawers can be perfect for storing canned goods, bottled water, or even bulk items like rice and pasta. And the best part? Out of sight, out of mind. These hidden storage spaces keep your living areas clutter-free. Now let's talk about multi-purpose furniture. A coffee table with shelves or a hollow ottoman can double as storage units. Even a bookshelf can be repurposed to hold jars of dried goods or a collection of canned foods. Making the most of your kitchen cabinets is also a smart move. Rearrange your dishes and utensils to create extra room for your prepper pantry items. You can use organizers or separators to maximize space and keep things orderly. Don't forget the overlooked spaces either. The back of a door, for instance, can be fitted with a rack or hanging storage for lighter items. Even your fridge can house some non-perishable items if you're really tight on space. Remember, every inch counts when you're working with limited space. It's all about being resourceful and thinking outside the box. Don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for your space and your needs. And finally, keep in mind that it's not about having a large space, but making the most of the space you have. With a little creativity, you'll find you have more space than you thought. So, roll up your sleeves and start exploring your space. Happy prepping! Now that you've found space, how do you organize your pantry? Let's dive into it. The first step is to take everything out of your pantry. Yes, everything. This might seem daunting, but it's a vital part of the process. By removing all the items, you can clearly see what you have, what you need, and what has been hiding in the back corner for who knows how long. Next, start by categorizing your items. Group them by type: canned goods, grains, baking items, snacks, and so on. This will help you identify the best place to store each category in your pantry. Now let's talk about containers. Clear containers are your new best friends. They allow you to easily see what you have and how much is left. Plus, they stack neatly, saving you precious pantry real estate. For items like flour, sugar, and rice, consider using large clear jars with airtight lids. For smaller items like spices, small stackable containers work wonders. Labeling is the next big step. It's not just about knowing what's inside the container, it's also about knowing when it was stored. Including a date on your label will help you keep track of freshness and will remind you to use older items first. Speaking of which, rotating your stock is a must. Always bring older items to the front and put newly bought items at the back. This way, you make sure to use up items before they expire. It's a simple step that goes a long way in reducing waste and saving money. Also, don't forget about the vertical space. Install shelves or use stackable baskets to take advantage of the height of your pantry. This is especially useful for storing items that you don't use daily. Lastly, consistency is key. Stick to your organization system and adjust it as necessary. It might take some time to get used to, but it's worth it. An organized pantry will save you time and stress in the long run. With everything in its place, finding what you need becomes a breeze. Plus, it's satisfying to look at. So, roll up your sleeves and start organizing. Your future self will thank you. Maintaining your pantry is just as important as setting it up. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty of keeping your pantry in tip-top shape. First, let's talk about checking expiration dates. It's crucial to keep an eye on the shelf life of your items. This doesn't mean you have to toss everything out the moment it hits the best buy date, but it does mean you should use or replace it soon. Regularly reviewing these dates prevents the unpleasant surprise of spoiled food when you need it most. Next, we have the concept of rotating your stock. This is a simple yet effective system called first in, first out, or FIFO for short. When you purchase new items, place them at the back of the shelf, pushing older items to the front. This ensures you're using the oldest items first and keeps your stock fresh. Remember, wasted food is wasted money and space. Now let's move on to replenishing supplies. Ideally, you should always aim to keep your pantry full. So when you use an item, make a note of it and replace it on your next shopping trip. This keeps your pantry consistently stocked and helps you avoid the feast or famine scenario. Don't forget about regular cleaning. Your pantry should be a clean, pest-free zone. Regularly wipe down shelves, check for signs of pests, and ensure your food is stored in airtight containers. This not only keeps your food safe, but also extends its shelf life. Lastly, let's talk about keeping an inventory. Knowing what you have and what you need is crucial. An inventory can be as simple as a handwritten list or as complex as a spreadsheet. The key is to keep it updated. This will help you plan meals, save money, and keep your pantry well stocked. In conclusion, maintaining your pantry involves regular checks and balances. It's about keeping an eye on expiration dates, rotating your stock, replenishing supplies, and ensuring cleanliness. Remember, your pantry is a living, breathing part of your home, and it needs care and attention just like any other part. A little maintenance goes a long way in keeping your pantry stocked and ready. Think prepping is expensive? Think again. Picture it. You're in the grocery store gazing at the towering shelves of canned goods and dry foods. But prepping doesn't have to be an exercise in draining your wallet. With a little savvy shopping and a splash of planning, you can stock your pantry without breaking the bank. Let's dig in. First off, buying in bulk is a great way to save. Items like rice, pasta, and beans are often cheaper when purchased in larger quantities. Not only does this save you money in the long run, but these staples also have a long shelf life, making them perfect for your prepper pantry. Now let's talk sales. Everyone loves a good deal, and sales are an excellent opportunity to stock up on essentials. Keep an eye out for discounts on canned goods, bottled water, and non-perishables. These items are often on sale and can be stored for extended periods. Another trick of the trade is to take note of the sale cycles. Most stores operate on a 6 to 8 week sale cycle. So if you see an item on sale this week, chances are it'll be on sale again in about a month and a half. Preserving food is another cost-effective way to prep. Canning, freezing, and dehydrating foods allow you to take advantage of seasonal produce and sales. Plus, these methods extend the shelf life of your food, keeping your pantry stocked for longer. And remember, prepping is not a one-time event. It's a continuous process. Start small and steadily build your pantry over time. This approach is not only easier on your budget, but also less overwhelming. Lastly, don't forget to plan. Make a list of what you need, stick to it, and avoid impulse purchases. This way, you'll ensure that your hard-earned money is spent wisely and your pantry is well stocked with what you actually need. Prepping doesn't have to break the bank. It's all about smart shopping and planning. Creating a prepper pantry in a small space is not an impossible task. That's the key message we've been emphasizing throughout the video. Now that we've reached the end, let's recap the main points. First, we've established the importance of having a prepper pantry. It's a safety net you can rely on when emergencies strike. It's not about fearing the worst, but about being prepared for the unexpected. Next, we discussed what to stock in your pantry. Remember, it's not just about quantity, but also quality. We're talking about long-lasting, nutritious items that can sustain you and your loved ones during tough times. We then explored the art of finding space in your urban dwelling. No matter how small your apartment may seem, there's always room to be found. Under the bed, on top of the fridge, even behind the couch. Anywhere can turn into a storage haven with a little ingenuity. We also delved into organizing your pantry to make it easy to access and rotate your supplies. Remember the mantra, first in, first out. And don't forget to keep an inventory. We touched on maintaining your pantry. Regular checks and replenishments are crucial to ensure your supplies are always up to date and ready to go. And finally, we discussed prepping on a budget. It doesn't have to be a costly endeavor. With smart shopping and a bit of DIY, you can build a robust pantry without breaking the bank. With a bit of planning, organization, and creativity, you can be prepared for whatever comes your way. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.